I'm excited today because truth continuously is being revealed in my life. You know, when I was younger, I would always associate my affliction with my antagonist. Meaning, whatever bad thing that was occurring in my life, instead of owning that thing, instead of taking personal responsibility, I would always associate the bad thing with someone else. You know, I would say to myself, I didn't get the A on the test because that teacher did not like me. Or I didn't reach my goal because he or she did something and didn't want me to reach my goal. I would never take personal responsibility. I would always associate my affliction with my antagonist. But you know what? I'm glad that I lived a little longer to be taught by life. I was observing some HVAC contractors installing an HVAC unit one morning, and it seems as though the HVAC system directly spoke to me. The HVAC system began to say, I know all throughout your life you have associated your affliction with antagonists, and you determined how you felt based on somebody else. But please take a keynote as to how I am designed and what I do. You see this big building that I'm in? I am responsible, not anybody else. I am responsible for how the occupants feel and what the occupants intake. I'm going to say that one more time. The HVAC unit told me that in the building that it is responsible for how the occupants feel and what they intake. Meaning the occupants, if they are feeling cold in a particular season in their life, the HVAC unit, with help of the thermostat, immediately dispatches warm air, because the HVAC unit is responsible for how the occupants feel, not any outside source, the HVAC unit that is within the building that has been created. Also, the HVAC unit, when the occupants are breathing some things, some contaminants that could harm their body, the HVAC unit is directly responsible for making sure that those contaminants leave the building through filters. You know what filters are. Even when some bad things want to come in, the filters ensure that the bad things don't go past a certain point. So that HVAC system started ministering to me, started teaching me some things. And you know what? I want to directly tell you today that please do not associate your affliction with your antagonist. The HVAC system would tell you, you are directly responsible for how you feel and what you intake. I'm going to say that one more time so you can hear it. You, point to yourself. You are responsible for how you feel and what you intake. You know, and it's funny, the principle that is applied for regarding how people feel. Think about the HVAC system. If one feels cold, the HVAC system doesn't dispense cold air. The HVAC system dispenses things that are immediately opposite of what the occupant is currently feeling. What I'm trying to tell you today, if you are feeling negativity, if you are feeling despair, if you are feeling poor, if you are feeling like throwing in the towel, the reason or the response is not to dispatch anything that is similar to that. The response is to dispatch the opposite of what you are feeling. So if you got a lot of negativity in your life, you got a lot of negative people in your life, you can't just continue to befriend negative people. Your HVAC system, your way of regulating things in your life is to replace these negative folks with positive folks. All of this lack of self-confidence that you may have, the response is not to team up with people that are that lack in self-confidence. The response is to team up with somebody who went through that before but was delivered and now has self-confidence. You are responsible for how you feel. It's not your mother, it's not your father, it's not your children, it's not your homies or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You are responsible for how you feel. I am responsible for how I feel. I cannot control the things or the contaminants that may come into my system. Come on now, with the internet, there are so many contaminants. There are so many haters. There are so many naysayers. There are so many opposers of what your plan is. But the response and the solution is to not fight fire with fire. You got to give yourself the direct opposite of what you're experiencing so you can so you can regulate what's going on in your life. You are the HVAC system. You are responsible for what you feel. You're responsible for how you feel as well. And when you think about those things, some of those things can be in the same vein. I mean, I can feel cold, I can feel hot. My responsibility is to give myself and send some things in my system that are directly opposite of what I'm feeling. I hope somebody's listening. Secondly, I'm responsible for what I intake. What I intake. The system, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but the system of an HVAC, the HVAC system that is in a building is designed to regulate what's going on in the building. So even if dust and bad contaminants are trying to get into the system, filters have been placed strategically to ensure that those things don't continue to get past a certain point. Filters. What are the filters in your life? If you don't have any, we need to start thinking about some filters. Filters can be in the form of people. Filters can be in the form of limits. Come on, we have to know ourselves. We have to ensure that we have filters. Everything can't just go into our system. And I've fallen victim to this several times, trying to let everything come into my system because I wanted to prove that I was human. And you know, I can't just be sheltered, and I can't just shelter myself from all of the experiences of life. But I have found that when you do that, and you just declare that anything goes, be prepared to just be what anything wants you to be. So, even though this speech may not be the most eloquent one you've heard, I just want you to ensure that you understand that you are the HVAC system in your life. You are responsible for what you feel. You're responsible for how you feel, and you are responsible for what you will intake. There are some things that you just will not take because you got filters and you're responsible. Lastly, I'm making a change. I'm making a change, and I'm excited to hear the reports about others that are making changes. Making changes because on this approach to success, let me reveal something truthfully to you all. When I was younger, people would classify me as being arrogant and conceited and apathetic. And in my quest to prove all of them wrong, I did the direct opposite things of what I used to do. So instead of thinking about, you know, my well-being and always associating what's good in life as to, you know, what's good about me, I forgot about me, and I went to go take care of other people and take care of other issues and whatever. It's almost like I became the world police because I was looking at the state of mankind, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, we got to do something about everything that's going on. And that's good. But what I have learned is the priority, that's a good plan, but the priority needs to be on regulating the things within us. For that brave soul that's trying to regulate everything that's going on in the world. That's a tall order, and that's a great plan. But I believe the most beneficial thing is to ensure that you are regulating yourself. And so that fundamental truth that was revealed to me, and that's continuing to be revealed to me, is when people regulate themselves, then we will ensure that we have a better world. Because individually, you regulate yourself, that's going to catch on like wildfire. I regulate myself. You regulate yourself. Your family members regulate themselves. And then we are controlling how we feel. We're having positive vibes. We're controlling what we intake because whatever we intake is just going to be reproduced. You know, so we want to make sure that we are being the HVAC systems in our lives. Hope I wasn't too heavy for you today. Just wanted to tell you what was revealed to me. If you like, you know what, if you got anything out of this video, if it blessed you in any way, make sure to like, share, comment, post, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Derek A. Cash. Peace and blessings. Out.